Meantime, federal prosecutors are pushing for 7-year sentence for disgraced former Congressman George Santos. Remember him? According to court documents, prosecutors say the time reflects the serious nature of Santos's crimes, adding, quote, Santos planned and executed an assortment of fraudulent schemes and leveraged them and a fictitious life story to enrich himself and capture one of the highest offices in the U.S. government. Santos was charged with 23 felony counts while he was still a representative in Congress and is set to be sentenced April 25th. Now to some of the big legal cases we are following. This week's burden of proof, including Russell Brand, Diddy, and a soccer star. Civil rights attorney Riva Martin joins me now for more. Riva, comedian and actor Russell Brand has been charged serious crimes with rape and indecent assault, sexual assault. This by the Metropolitan Police in London. Brand has since denied the allegations, posting a video on his social media pages saying, quote, I've never engaged in non-consensual activity, and I will have the opportunity to defend these charges in court. According to authorities, all the charges date back more than 20 years. If there's is there a statute of limitations, I guess, is the question on these charges? And if so, how could we see them play out? And is there a difference from America to London when we have these charges?
What we're seeing, Phil, across the globe really is that prosecuting attorneys as well as legislators are looking at ways to allow individuals to bring civil claims for sexual assault and for prosecutions to move forward for claims dating back, as you said, like in this case, even 2 decades ago. I suspect that these charges will stand, that Russell Brand will have his opportunity, his day in court to defend himself against these claims, but I don't think he's going to be successful in any kind of motion to have these claims or allegations against him dismissed based on any expiration of a statute of limitations.
Let's move to Diddy. Federal prosecutors have filed a third superseding indictment against Sean Diddy Combs. The new indictment adds one charge of sex trafficking, one charge of transportation to engage in prostitution. He has denied all the allegations, pleaded not guilty to both the previous indictments. Combs' legal team responding to the new charges saying, quote, these are the same individuals, former long-term girlfriends who were involved in consensual relationships. This was their private sex life, defined by consent, not by coercion. The additional charges are coming just about a month before Diddy's trial. What impact could they have on his defense? And first, if you would, just talk about the word superseding.
Yeah, superseding just means that this is a new indictment, that it adds to the previous indictment. Diddy was first arrested and charged back in September of 2024, and this is the second superseding, meaning that this comes in addition to the original indictment that was filed. And in many ways, this becomes the indictment that will be the subject of the trial that will happen in May. There was a superseding indictment filed in January by prosecutors. That didn't add any new claims, but what that did was move the time period back from 2008 to 2004 for the claims that had already been made. Long and short of it is, this is bad news for Diddy. These new charges raise additional avenues for prosecutors to put on additional witnesses and to bring forth additional evidence. And it's important to note, Phil, that these charges are pretty recent, from 2001 to 2021, I should say, to 2024. So this isn't going to be evidence that some people may say is stale dated or that happened decades ago. We're talking about things that literally, if these charges are verified or substantiated, I should say, by the prosecution, happened just last year.
All right, and finally, soccer star Diego Maradona's healthcare team is on trial for voluntary manslaughter after the Argentine soccer player died. This was back in 2020 from heart failure while recovering from surgery. He was previously documented as suffering from multiple health conditions, including hypertension, cirrhosis, kidney problems. I'm wondering, what evidence will prosecutors need to prove that the medical negligence led to his death?
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult case for prosecutors because we're hearing and getting information now that the soccer star had an enlarged heart. that he had pre-existing medical conditions and that the surgery that he had is not the cause, or the care provided during that surgery, that there's no causal link between that care or lack of care and his ultimate death. So I think prosecutors are going to have a difficult time because of the pre-existing medical conditions that apparently are fairly well documented and will be testified to by multiple experts.
Civil rights attorney Areva Martin, thank you for taking the time. Never a shortage of cases to talk about with you. We appreciate you taking us through them. The family of a college football player is now filing a lawsuit after their son collapsed and died following his very first day of practice. They are accusing athletic staff at Bucknell University in Pennsylvania of taking part in an alleged hazing ritual that turned deadly. ABC's Ika Jachi has more on what the player's parents are saying.
The parents of a Bucknell University football player are speaking out about losing their son CJ after he collapsed during a workout on his first day with the team.
We can't go into his room. Even just to look at the door is bothersome. And just not having him here, not to hear his voice.
They filed a lawsuit against the university, school officials, and members of the athletic staff, alleging the 18-year-old offensive lineman was forced to perform up-downs, also called burpees, because some of the freshmen had messed up on some drills, according to the filing. Dickey was rushed to the hospital where doctors treated him for rhabdomyolysis, a condition caused by extreme exertion that leads to muscle breakdown, and in severe cases could cause kidney failure and abnormal heart rhythms.
They were trying to resuscitate him, and they came to us and said, we've been trying, and we made the decision as parents to stop because CJ wasn't coming back.
CJ's case was complicated by sickle cell trait, an inherited condition that put him and others at a 50% higher risk for rhabdo. He was diagnosed through athletic testing just a few weeks before arriving at Bucknell. Since 2010, the NCAA has mandated screening for sickle cell trait for all student athletes, the result of a lawsuit over the post-practice death of a Rice University football player.
People with sickle cell trait who are engaging in athletic activity, it doesn't mean they will all 100% get rhabdo, but they are at an increased risk.
According to the lawsuit, the Dickeys say the university hasn't given them a clear answer to what happened the day their son collapsed, but they believe he was subjected to the extreme workout as an annual rite of passage for the freshman athletes they say amounts to hazing.
This feels like someone pressured and pushed and drove these kids way beyond what they should have been driven.
I do think our kid was hazed, and I think this was something that was completely avoidable.
In a statement, Bucknell University says they won't comment on pending litigation, but they extend heartfelt sympathies to CJ's family, and we will continue to focus on our most important priority, the health and safety of all Bucknell students.
Ike, thank you for that report.